Well, hello again, model customizers of the 1/64 scale variety. A while back I did a video on this. I really like this MiniGT RS6, and I bought some of those Hot Wheels kind of photo etched metal wheels and popped them on. And I think they're okay still. I was actually debating just leaving these on. But there's, well, yeah. Anyways, the topic of today's video is I went to a recent diecast show here where I live, and these guys were there. These guys are from Taiwan. This is their Facebook. They're called Model Grocery Store MW Shop. They spoke English. I think it was this guy and I definitely remember him because he had the long hair. Anyways, they were selling a bunch of cars with the actual wheels on them, and I could have bought that, but I thought I'd just do a video of me doing them for you. You know, see how easy or not these things are. These wheels are actually 3D printed, even though I'm capable of designing and 3D printing my own wheels. It's a pain. You know, it's very time consuming designing wheels, printing them, painting them, right? So anyways, this literally says RS6. So the wheels that originally came from this Mini GT, I just didn't like them, the way that Audi designed the wheels that the Mini GT chose to do. But I guess these actually belong on the RS6, so it's very fitting. They came in different colors, but I just chose to go with silver. So there's their let's see, we have some spacers for the axles, 3D printed spacers. And then we have like a brass rod axle itself. Okay. So they use an 8K 3D printer. And these are simply leagues beyond my 3D printer, which is 4K. You can still see a little bit of the step lines, you know, the layer lines, but mine is so much worse if you watch my Hot Wheels videos, because the dealer won't tell me a finer resolution. He's never tested the finest resolution my printer can print at. So although my printer could probably actually do this, I don't know the settings, and I've just been too lazy to actually figure out the settings because I don't want to waste resin and time. So I'd rather just buy these things, right? The only thing that I find lacking on these is the brakes, right? There are no brakes here. Granted, these are pretty inexpensive wheels. I think they're like $6 or something like that, maybe $7. Alright, luckily I have 3D printed brakes of my own, and we'll see if they fit. So let's pop this thing open again. I'll save these wheels for something else entirely. The problem with the RS6 is this thing. You gotta take this off, so I need a pry tool. Now I may have crazy glued this in place. Oh, never mind. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. It's very easy to take off. The very first time I took that off, it wasn't so easy. So then we have two flathead screws here. Yeah, so I was using these just metric plastic nylon nuts as spacers and some washers here as well. Anyways, we'll put those aside, and now let's see about this thing here. So let's see first. I'm gonna pair these things up. My brakes, they're directional, so my brakes here, these particular ones. So actually I'm lucky that fits, but it's very loose. So I just have some school glue, PVA glue, in a squeeze bottle like this. That'll eventually dry. And actually these brakes are gonna spin with the wheel. But I don't really like rolling models, so I'll just pose it one way. Let's see if this axle fits in this hole properly. It does. I want to glue that in place. In fact, I do. So when I 3D print, I usually have to drill these holes out again because the support materials makes the hole smaller. So I don't know if that's something these guys did, or if they're just supporting their models smarter than I am when I 3D print my wheels. But anyways, you don't need a you need a drill bit to clean out that hole. Get the extra crazy glue off. So in this case, you actually don't need, well, I could probably put this back together. Maybe not. I don't know, let's see. It depends if the wheels are going to be behind the fender or not. But if we pop this on here, will it fit in there? Yeah, alright, so I can put the base back on. Let me come back. I just had to repaint the interior while I was at it so you can actually see it, right? Anyways, you already mounted the first one. You're not going to need any spacers. One thing that I find a bit odd though is the tire is the same for the left and right, meaning these angled slots here are facing the other way on that side of the car. It would be just better to have the slots perpendicular so left and right wouldn't make a difference. As far as cutting an axle, I recommend buying these. These are great. They're called Knipex or Nipex, and the model number in particular is not written on here. Well, sadly. Oh, there it is. 7212-125. I think that's to do with the dimensions. Anyways, it can easily cut through this stuff without ever breaking. So a little bit of time. Make sure you wear safety glasses or keep that thing from flying off. I know that's still a little too long. Alright, let's do a test fit. Yeah, a little bit of play. It's still under the fenders. I guess that's good enough. So I'm just going to have to take that off. I want to glue that in place. The brakes are so far back in there, you know, it's really hard to see that red caliper. It's a little better in the front, but maybe it's just a matter of the light getting in there. So I'm going to hold this caliper in this position. Then I'm going to apply some crazy glue to the other end there. Where are you, crazy glue? And then the brake caliper. You can probably twist it after you glue it, but oh, there's something in there. I didn't catch it, but there's actually a piece of support material or something inside that wheel, so let me clean that out. So all you toy fans, the wheels do roll, and that's basically because MiniGTs are designed to have gappiness or something that allows them to roll. These are plastic 3D printed tires, so keep that in mind. This actually rolls probably faster than a rubber MiniGT tire. Alright, with that said, these spacers actually marked 0.05 and 1 millimeter, I assume, is the thickness. Or maybe that's even thicker than a millimeter. It's hard to say, but I'll keep those for something else. Let's take a look at these other ones. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually use these right now. I don't know what wheels I would put them on. I mean, what car I would put them on. But looking at these, I'm pretty sure they're fashioned after real wheels. If you want to pause, hold on here. I'm going to pause, and, well, you want to pause. You can scan those QRs maybe, and it'll take you to that Facebook page I showed you. Or Instagram, it looks like. This also says RS6. Well, anyways, just to show you what it looks like. Focus, come on. I mean, they're okay, but I definitely like the snowflake ones more. And then this one has a different pack logo on it. I don't know what that means. IH or something. You might want to, again, scan that QR code and see where it goes. $250, yeah, it's like $6-7, and again it says RS6, so I don't know if these are Audi RS6 wheels or not. But if you're curious, yeah, I think they're better than the last ones, but I still like these the most. Yeah, so I'm gonna just save these for future projects whenever I find some lame wheels that I don't like on the models. Same with this. These weren't necessarily bad. They're just, you know, very flat. And there's no brake. If there's a brake behind there, that would be better. But they're just so flat looking. If you hang out in a hobby enough, you're impressed with certain things a certain year. But as you collect more and more, you're like, yeah, it could be better. Those guys were also nice enough to give me a free set of their decals here. Their logo. I'll put them on something later. I think that's a marked improvement over those metal wheels that I had before, and which was a marked improvement over the wheels MiniGT modeled after the real RS6 wheels. Alright, well anyways, those guys, they're worth a look. You know, they're on Facebook and Instagram. I'm sure they can mail them internationally. It's not like these little wheel sets weigh a lot or are even big to ship. You could probably get a tiny box with like 100 pairs in there. So, yeah, they did a great job. Very impressive. They're very finely printed. I mean, look at the spokes, how thin they are. That's something that, you know, MiniGT isn't capable of doing because they would be too fragile. And that's another warning, actually. When I was pushing this onto the axle, the second one, I noticed, you know, a little bit of flex because these are really fragile. So you probably don't want to, you know, step on this model or roll, you know, abuse the thing because they will break. You know, the 3D printed resin, yeah, they're using cheap high detail resin. They're not using a tough strong resin because it's simply unnecessary for something like this. Well, anyways, keep your eyes peeled, and hopefully I'll get to use those other wheel sets on other models soon. Take care. Bye now.